All right, welcome back. Today we're going to do Polynomials Day 2. Maybe. There we go. Okay. Again, real life situations. So what we're going to do today is multiply two terms, 1, 2 each, polynomial. So when we do this, this is going to be called foiling. We're going to do this because we know my handwriting's great. So foiling stands for first, outside, inside, and last. Red, green, purple, and blue. So these are the colors I'm going to go ahead and do all these operations in. So first things first, I'm going to multiply the first. The first is talking about, if you notice in my two sets of parentheses, I actually need to move that up a little bit and that up a little bit. The first term is the thing right at the first of each of my set of parentheses, the first thing right after you open it. So those are my first two. So I'm going to take x times x squared, and that's going to give me x cubed. I'm going to move this guy down for a second. Next, I'm going to do the outside, which means I have the outside pieces which are farthest away from each other. So I'm going to take that 6 and I'm going to multiply it times 5, which will give me plus 5x. And if I said 6, I'm really, really sorry. I meant to say x. I'm going to take that x and multiply it to the 5. I underlined it and I said the opposite, so I apologize. So I'm going to take that x times 5. Next, purple is going to be inside, so the two terms that are right next to each other. So I'm going to take negative 6 times x squared, which will give me negative 6x squared. And then I'm going to take my last, or the very last two pieces in each set. So negative 6 times 5, which is negative 30. Then what I like to do is check to see if it's in descending order, which in this case it is not. So I'm going to put it in descending order so that it's more correct. So it's x cubed minus 6x squared plus 5x minus 30. I would also combine any like terms if I had any. I do not have any like terms in this first example, so therefore I don't have any to combine. Alright, so FOIL. We're going to take my first times my first. So x times x, which will give me x squared. Then I'm going to take my outside, which is my x, all the way to my 7, which gives me plus 7x. Next, I'm going to do the inside, which means my negative 13 times x, which gives me negative 13x. And my last two, so my negative 13 times 7, which will give me a negative 91. Let's go ahead and combine those two middle terms. So I have x squared minus 6x minus 91. I'm going to throw this onto my next page so that way we have it. I'm going to throw it on the very, very last page as well. It's hiding down here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do these next two. So I'm going to take my first term, so my 12x times x to give me 12x squared. My outside, so that 12x again is going to go now to the 4. So it'll give me plus 48x. Inside, which means my negative 9 times my x, which would be negative 9x. And my last, so negative 9 times 4, which will give me negative 36. I'm going to go ahead and combine these two terms in the middle. So I have 48 minus 9, which will give me 36. Excuse me, which will give me 39. I do know some basic subtraction. So my final answer is 12x squared plus 39x minus 36. All right, next problem. I have my 8x squared times my 9x, because those are the first two terms together, which gives me 72x cubed. Then I have my first times the very, very last number, or my outside pieces, which is 8x squared times negative 12, which gives me negative 96x squared. Then I have my 2x cubed times my 9x, which gives me 18x to the 4th. And then I have 2x cubed times negative 12, which is negative 24x to the 3rd. So I'm going to go ahead and try and combine some like terms. When I write these, remember I want to do descending order, so that 18x to the 4th will come first. Then I have 72 minus 24, which gives me 48x to the 3rd minus 96x squared. Okay, let me pull up my nice little foil chart that we made. Scooting that over because I know I'm going to write very big, and so I'm going to run into this problem at first. So what we're going to do on these last two is I'm going to do this first one with you, and then you're going to complete that last one on your own. So in this case, if you notice, I have more than 4 things. I have 5. So when I do something with 5, it means I have to give everything each piece. So just bear with me. I'm going to give my 2x squared to that 2x squared, and I'm going to give it to it with multiplication. And that's going to be 4x to the 4th. Then I'm going to take that 2x squared, and I'm going to multiply it with my negative x, which will give me negative 2x cubed. And then lastly, I'm going to give that 2x squared to the negative 12 with multiplication, so it's minus 24x squared. Now, if you notice, I use that 2x squared 3 times in all 3 pieces. Here's one else. There we go. On all 3 pieces over here. Now, I'm going to give this 3x to everything in this second piece. So I have 3x times 2x squared, which will give me plus 6x to the third. Running out of colors. Then I'm going to give that 3x to that x. So that's going to be negative 3x squared. Actually, I'm going to do pumpkin orange. Then I'm going to give that 3x to that negative 12. Make that negative 36x. Now that negative 36x should go after my 3x squared. I just was starting to run out of room there. So just know that this guy kind of sits right here. Like so. All right, let's go ahead and put the same stuff together. So I look to see what I can combine. I see no other 4x. I don't see any other fourth powers. So I have 4x to the fourth. I have negative 2 plus 6, which gives me plus 4x cubed. I have negative 24x squared minus 3x squared, which gives me negative 27x squared. And then no other x's, so it's just minus 36x. Alright, I'm going to move this piece down here for myself, because I am going to put the answer for you. I just don't have enough room to work, so I'm just moving them around. So remember, this is the one I want you to pause and come back and see if you got the same answer I did. All right, I hope our answers agree. See you tomorrow.